guys? Small Fan 101 here, and I think I have to make this review a little bit quicker than the other ones because I may be running low on power for the camera or phone that I'm using to record. So let's just get right into it. All right, we opened up with a Dean Ambrose Stephanie McMahon segment. Ambrose came out. He wanted a piece of Brock Lesnar. I guess he didn't learn his lesson from last week, but then again, considering that he is crazy, I'm not surprised. Stephanie came out, basically cut his nuts off by saying that he was not a good performer. Well, I wonder what Dean Ambrose's girlfriend, Renee Young, has to say about that. And said that basically teasing more dissension between him and Reigns, and even put his Intercontinental title on the line. Now, there's two things I didn't like about this. One, the fact that Stephanie McMahon comes out and always cuts the balls off of every wrestler she talks down to and never gets any comeuppance due to the fact that she's a woman and, cannot touch women policy. I think the last time a woman actually got hit by a dude was Chris Jericho when he hit Shawn Michaels' wife back in SummerSlam 2008. Keep in mind, that was about 5.5 years ago. Actually, no, not even 5.5 years ago. It was it was 5.5 years ago, wasn't it? No, 6.5 years ago. That's it. Sorry. Or 7.5. I don't know. I don't care. 7.5 years ago. I don't care. Anyways, it was a good segment, but I hated when she did that, as well as putting the title on the line. It's not the title on the line that I didn't like. Heck, the match I thought was very awesome, very, very good. I mean, hold on. Sorry, guys. Still coming back from sickness. But, what I'm trying to say is that the freaking match, they called it a Fatal 5-Way. Fatal 4-Way sounds good. Triple Threat sounds cool, but Fatal 5-Way sounds retarded. It sounds ridiculous. It's ridiculous and stupid. Never use that again. Okay, with that being said, the match was really, really good. It was Dean Ambrose defending the Intercontinental title against, let's see, who was it against? It was against Stardust, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and Tyler Breeze. I predicted that Tyler Breeze was going to take the fall here. That prediction came true. And Kevin Owens ended up winning with a powerbomb on Tyler Breeze to win the match. It does make me realize I haven't never seen these two guys in a singles match together. Like a serious... Oh, wow, something's wrong with my throat. Sorry. I haven't seen these two guys together in like a serious, 10, 15 minute singles match. I would actually like to see that. With that said, fun match. Not a great match by any means, but it was definitely a very fun match. And I recommend that you see it. I guess just to get, the kick out of seeing Kevin Owens win. Which means that the Kevin Owens Dolph Ziggler match we're getting this Sunday at Fastlane, we are getting an Intercontinental title match. And hopefully with Ambrose losing the title and Owens winning the title, both of them is something important to do up until WrestleMania. Kevin Owens hopefully is the long-awaited match we wanted with Sami Zayn, and Ambrose hopefully going up, in a big name match, maybe against The Undertaker. We don't know. Next we got like a little visual that we are gonna get the Cutting Edge Peep Show, which is an Edge and Christian combination, promo segment. Their shows back in the day. And they're going to invite the New Day. Now, at first I had reservations thinking that's a bad idea, especially on pay-per-view. But then I weighed my options. It was either Cutting Edge Peep Show with the New Day or New Day versus Usos. I'll take this. I'll take Cutting Edge Peep Show with New Day any time of the week. Because I don't want to see another match between the Usos and the New Day, and no matter what combination there is. Afterwards, we had a match between Mark Henry and Big E. Big E won. The match was bad, especially with the botched ending. Big E looked like he was going for a big ending on Mark Henry. He actually lifted him up, which was very impressive. Mark Henry was supposed to slide back, along Big E's... Hold on. Yeah? Mom, I'm recording a review. Apparently my mom doesn't know when I'm recording a video. She can be very airheaded sometimes. Anyways, Big E defeated Mark Henry. Mark Henry slid off the back of Big E. Supposed to land on his feet. I guess to go for a counter or something. But then he, slipped and he fell on his ribs. It looked like he hurt himself. Whether or not it was it was real or they just played along with it, I don't know. But Big E won after a pin. And another win, a big win, literally, not figuratively, but literally for Big E. Although I do hate how they're using Mark Henry, especially because he's going to retire sometime this year. After that, we got a Brie Bella Charlotte promo. Brie Bella came out. Byron Saxton asked her a few questions, specifically about Daniel Bryan, how he was doing, how this affected their relationship and everything. She said they were doing great. That Daniel Bryan was going to turn this negative into a big positive. And if rumors are, and there's a lot of truth to that, because if rumors are to be believed, Brie Bella is going to retire sometime during the summertime, possibly after SummerSlam. And Brie is, and it's the one thing. It's one of those few things I've ever actually heard on Total Divas. Brie Bella wants kids, and Daniel Bryan retiring last Monday night kind of, that really put the card on the table that Brie Bella should retire soon. So because she's young enough. She's 30, 31. Daniel Bryan's 34. They can have a family. They can have little Bryans running around, little Brees running around. I think little Bryans would be kind of funny. But then Charlotte came out, mocked Daniel Bryan. Well, at first she feigned, goodness for Daniel Bryan, but then they slowly but surely, Miz a couple weeks ago with the Styles, she mocked him, and it eventually came to a point, and she's obviously doing this so that way, because she said that Brie should have forfeit the match so she could be home with Daniel Bryan. She's obviously doing this because she doesn't want any part of Brie Bella at Fastlane. She just wants a quick, easy win without her having to do anything. Which Brie responded saying that I'm not an easy person to beat. Stephanie McMahon, I guess, says the contrary from a couple years ago, but that's just me. Anyways, with that said, Charlotte eventually mocked them, crossing the line, saying that, she's going to have horrible, goat-faced vegan kids. Brie snapped. I would have snapped too, not because it was just a horrible line to say, but because Daniel Bryan just retired. Really? You're going to knee him below the belt right after his retirement? I mean, too soon. It's too soon. It's a good segment, but too soon. It was just, it was just bad in that sense. But aside from that, it was actually a good segment. After that, Brie slapped Charlotte in the face and proceeded to beat the crap. I hate it when I do that. Proceeded to beat the crap out of her. And that was the end of the segment. Flair didn't do anything, which leads me to believe that Flair is just going to be slowly but surely written off TV soon. Next, we got a match between AJ Styles and The Miz. The rematch from SmackDown a couple weeks ago. When Styles knocked out Miz's teeth. Literally, he actually knocked out Miz's teeth. And this was a good match. This was a nice 10, 11 minute match. AJ Styles defeated Miz with calf crusher, as they're calling it. They're not calling it calf killer because PG. After the match was over, Jericho was out in commentary, and Jericho's infinitely better at commentary than all three of the announcers, as seen in the past with other wrestlers. Jericho, after the match was over, went on the mic. He basically talked more about AJ Styles, but then and at one point, Styles, for the first time, actually cut a promo in the ring, sort of. He interrupted Jericho, saying that, hey, I beat you at my first night here, you beat me last week on SmackDown. Let's settle it at this Sunday at Fastlane. Jericho Styles round 3. Jericho's basically like, in very heelish fashion, which I loved, in very heelish fashion, he said, you know what? We were very good competition for each other, so the answer may surprise you. I'm going to say no and wait for my answer on SmackDown. I'm predicting we're getting a third match and Styles is possibly winning. If it's a singles match. What I'm actually hoping for, because Miz, as little as he has been a part of the storyline. So I'm thinking a triple threat match at Fastlane between Styles, Miz, and Jericho, with Styles getting the win by pinning Miz, and then eventually Jericho goes heel either that night or the night after on Raw, and eventually build up to a face versus heel match in Styles and Jericho with a stipulation. Because remember, this is gonna be the 4th match at WrestleMania if they do one. So let's give it a stipulation. Let's give it 2 out of 3 falls or something like that. Let's give it last man standing or something. Actually, no, maybe not last man standing because Jericho is in his mid-40s. But I'm actually really liking the storyline. Next, we had a brief Dudley Boyz promo. It was nothing special, but it was fun considering the fact that they're heels now and they have more promo time. I did it again. Bubba Ray Dudley is acting a lot like his Bully Ray character in TNA. Which it did make me sad that they came out in camo gear instead of their normal street clothes, because that made him a lot more serious and different on SmackDown. And on Raw, they just came out in camo gear. Why? I don't know. But they were just basically repeating what they said on SmackDown. Tables didn't win us tag team championships. Tables didn't make us stars. We did. We made ourselves stars. We were just a nostalgia act, and now we're getting serious. We're not of the past. We're still in the present. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Afterwards, we had a match between Summer Rae and Paige. That's right, Summer Rae returns to in-ring action. And surprise, surprise, she sucked. But I realized two things. One, Summer Rae is hot. I had forgotten how hot Summer Rae looked in her wrestling gear. 2, she actually won the match. It was a sloppy match. But she won, and that was it. Yeah, that was basically it. So it wasn't nothing to write home about. Nothing good came out of it. There was no storyline build up. It was just Summer Rae beats Paige in a match on Raw, and then next segment, please. Then we had what I believe was the final segment of Hour 2. It was a Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns promo. Paul Heyman came out. He called out Roman Reigns, telling him that he should choose between his wife and daughter, more so his daughter, than his or choose his best friend. Because if Roman Reigns wants to win the WWE Championship, make his family proud, he has to basically cross his best friend and beat him. Paul Heyman also implied that since he can't beat Brock Lesnar, the only way he's going to make it to WrestleMania is if he beats Dean Ambrose. He pins Dean Ambrose. And, With that said, it was actually Roman Reigns came back with a comeback, basically saying, "Hey, look, I'm brothers with Dean, and I love my family, and of course I'm gonna win more so for my family. But Dean and I are still gonna be friends after this." They had it was a really you have to really watch the segment for yourself. It was a really good segment, really nice. Paul Heyman was great as always. Roman Reigns did hold his own here whenever he needed to. Paul Heyman left the ring. The Dudley Boys attacked. Remember, they had a history of Paul Heyman, so was this coincidence or was just the Dudley Boys being complete a-holes? With that said, Dean Ambrose came out, helped out Roman Reigns. They were about to fist bump and do their thing, and then Dean Ambrose tried to give Roman Reigns his finisher, but it didn't work. It was a very and there was like a smile on both the faces of Ambrose and Reigns, saying that, hey, we're gonna have to fight each other at Fastlane. At Fastlane, there are no friends. This actually was a good segment if it ended the show. And what happened the next hour proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Raw being 3 hours is way too much time. We got just listen to this. Next, we got a match between Heath, Slater, and Zack Ryder. I thought I was watching a dark match for a second. Heath Slater won after a couple of minutes, after basically getting the absolute crap beat out of him by Zack Ryder, and then Ryder got distracted by the Social Outcast, and then Slater win. Saying it right now, you do not need a distraction finish with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's one of those guys you can beat clean. He's not going to go any higher than he is in WWE because of how they've mishandled him. Next, we had the League of Nations, which I believe was Rusev, Sheamus, and it wasn't King Barrett. It's Rusev, it was Sheamus, and it was who's the other member of League of Nations? Oh yeah, Alberto Del Rio. And they were having a 6-man tag match against Neville and the Lucha Dragons, Sin Cara and Kalisto, who had just won a match against the Cosmic Wasteland, Stardust, and the Ascension on SmackDown last week. This match was only a few minutes, it was nothing special except the finish. You know how Del Rio, puts his wrestlers in the Tree of Woe and then jumps, from the top rope corner onto the opponent right there and in the corner. Well, Sin Cara was actually in the middle of the ring on one of the ropes. Del Rio actually jumped halfway across the ring in order to hit Sin Cara. And I actually watched it again. It almost looked like he almost missed. He barely hit it, but he almost missed. Which I thought, was very peculiar, I should say. I didn't think I thought he might, hit it all, but then again I thought, considering Del Rio's size, it might not hit. But it was a good hype. I hope to Lord they don't drop the title back to Del Rio just so they can drop it to Cena and then try doing the U.S. Open Challenge thing from last year. Even though it was by far one of the best parts of last year, was the Cena Open Challenge. We got some great matches. Cena and Cesaro, Cena and Zayn, Cena and Neville, Cena and Ziggler, Ambrose, all those guys. I would like to see that, but I just wouldn't like it just for Del Rio to win, just to drop it back to Cena. I want to have Kalisto give a big win here. I still am holding out hope for a Kalisto-Neville match to open up WrestleMania. A quick 10-15 minute match. That's awesome. Next, we had a brief 2-minute match. Becky Lynch defeated Naomi with the cross-arm breaker, whatever. I forget what it's called. Naomi tapped out. Tamina came in for the attack. Sasha came out to try to help her. And, of course, The heels ran away like little bitches, despite the fact that Tamina is a freaking giant of a woman. So yeah, nothing to write. Just a little bit more build up the Fastlane, just a little bit. But it looked like it should have happened weeks ago. And last week it should have been, that should have been the peak build up, I should say. Last match of the night, and yes, we actually ended on a match here for once. But what was the last match? Big Show versus Braun Strowman. I was floored that they actually went with this match. They were building it up all night. Yes, but it was not good. It was not a good match. It was a 2.5 minute match. It sucked. I will admit, Braun Strowman actually gives Big Show a run for his money in terms of size. I mean, they're practically the same height, and he's a giant. But it just was not a good match. Big Show won by disqualification after the Wyatt family came in for the attack. They destroyed him. Then, well, they were destroying him. Then, Ryback came out to try to make the save. They still got outnumbered. Then Kane came out to make the save. Well, he didn't actually come out. He came out from under the ring. And then they fought back. We're most likely getting a 6-man tag team match with Harper, Rowan, and Strowman against those three at Fastlane. Raw this week. First 2 hours were good. That third hour was just not so great. It was just a waste of time. So, this show was a mixed bag. Had some good on it, had some bad on it. You know what? And I thought I'd just make this review a little bit shorter because, running out of time and I got to do stuff. But I hope you guys are satisfied with my review. I will be watching TNA Impact tonight. I hope to record my TNA Impact review after the Impact episode, like right after. So hopefully I can do that. With that said, guys, I will be doing a predictions video for 2 events that are coming up soon. I'm going to be doing a predictions video for Fastlane and for Ring of Honor 14th anniversary. And I've been neglecting to watch Ring of Honor. I got to do that soon. So hopefully I can get back to you on that. And I'll be out, guys. Peace.